So I've made an executive decision, and that executive decision is that the museum building on the right of your screen is going to have some renovations done to it today. Now, to be clear, I have made some changes to it between this episode and the last one, and I want to talk about those very, very quickly before we go in there and start building some more things, because I think I want to get more gift shops. I think I'd like to try and get a cafeteria, and I'm also thinking we might end up with a couple of those, not just in that building, but just outside of the original main building as well. I also want to mention that in the last episode, I asked for your feedback with regards to what's going on with the money, if you've got any ideas. I haven't read it yet because that episode hasn't gone out yet. I just really want to play more 2 Point Museum, and I'm kind of noticing that despite the fact that we're losing money, we are losing a little bit less from time to time. I do think it's a donations thing. I do think we might need to play around a little bit with increasing the buzz and the interest in the museum, but I'm willing to just sort of see what happens is what I'm willing to do. Now, when it comes to the changes between episodes, I did come down here and add a bathroom to this space. I've also gone ahead and added bathrooms and staff rooms to the top of this building, because something I was noticing was that a lot of the guests to the museum were complaining about needing a bathroom, and if they're up here, they had to go all the way down here. Or if they were over here, all the way through here. If staff were tired up this way, they had to go all the way to the bottom of this. In fact, no, do we have a staff room in here at all? We do not actually have any staff rooms in here, so they would have had to go to the other building to have any sort of break. So basically, I figured, you know, we'd try and make something a little bit better. So when it comes to building some gift shops in here and possibly a cafeteria, I'm sort of looking at this space and I'm sort of wondering if I can play around with it a little bit. So this door is gonna go away. I don't want to sell the building. I want to very quickly edit the building and get rid of that door, because my thinking is that I might, and it's a very big might, but I might be able to go in here and just build out something like this. And it's going to be a little nasty looking to begin with, but my hope is that I can then do, man, I hope this works. I absolutely can do this, which is fantastic. I want to make a really weirdly shaped gift shop is what I want to do. And that's pretty weirdly shaped, I've got to say. That's kind of what we're looking for. That bench is going to go away, and the door for this place is going to be right there, which is perfect, because I want the gift shop to not necessarily prioritize prehistory stuff. I do think we could maybe even go so far as putting a door over here if we didn't have this security door. So I think we'll do a combo of prehistory and the supernatural, the paranormal, I think is what we can have a combination of here. So for the checkouts, can I get 2 of them right next to each other here? That seems like it's not necessarily going to be an option unless I do this, which I'm okay with that. I think I can work with that. I'd like to just shuffle it over a little bit so it's not sticking into the wall here, but I think that looks pretty solid. If I could move it over even further, that'd be great. That looks pretty good to me. So that's going to be our checkout space, which I think is perfect. We are going to want some prehistory bookshelves. We do have this space down here. We have all this space down here. Do I want to try and separate prehistory from the paranormal? That's the real question. So prehistory for this thing, maybe we just try and put prehistory down in this corner. That might be the way to go. So we'll do like a couple of prehistory bookshelves just in this space, which we can absolutely do. And that seems all right. And then we'll go and get the supernatural. And I don't know that we need to line this wall with 3 supernatural bookshelves. I think that's totally fine. I think we can go in here with some supernatural this, and that should be totally fine as well. So it can live right there. We do want to try and get some onesies in here. I think that's important, and I think they will sell pretty well. So we'll try and get them as close together as we can, and that looks all right. We do want prehistory onesies as well, though. We want to try and get a really nice mix of things in here. So prehistory onesies, maybe just on that wall is kind of where they can live. I think that's totally fine. And then we have things like prehistory plushies, which I want to say could live, I don't know, middle of the floor here, perhaps. All right, so this is going to be our gift shop. It's a little bare in the middle. We could probably afford to do a little something with it, but I think this looks pretty cool. We have our prehistory space, we have our supernatural space, and that's hopefully going to help get us a little bit more money. So what we'll do is have a look at assistants. We are going to get Caleb here to work in this gift shop, and that is basically all I'm going to have Caleb do, because then we can train him to go and be good at customer service, which seems like a fantastic idea. So away Caleb goes to do his thing. We have a new applicant coming in here in just 1 day, which is hopefully going to be someone that's useful. Unfortunately, not really. So we're going to get rid of both of you. And hopefully what we're going to see here is a fair bit of money coming out of this gift shop. That's the goal. That is the hope. That is the plan. I should mention we have achieved the whole 25 professors through marketing thing. We are almost level 28, or we were almost level 28. So we might get this rest is prehistory thing in not too long at all, which would be fantastic news. I would just really like to get you, absolutely going to get you to work in this gift shop. So let me go ahead and set you up to do all the gift shop stuff. I want to have you go ahead and train in customer service, because that is important. I'm hoping that you're not just, where are you going? So you are going to training, which is fine. I'm hoping that my staff can fit into this space. I'm hoping we can get 2 of them back here. If we can, I might have, you know what? I'm going to move these now is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just sort of move them this way. I'm going to move them out just a little bit as well, because I'm slightly concerned that they might not be able to get back there. So let's just see if we can make sure that we can have 2 employees working in the gift shop at all times. That looks fine. I would like to go in here with a little something. I don't necessarily want to do botany, but maybe can I get like a science bookshelf just in that corner, just to fill in the space a little bit. I just think that's going to help us a little. It'll bring some people here. I know it's kind of out of nowhere. Maybe what we do instead is we do both science and space, and we put them this way, so they're actually against the against that wall. Although the idea of putting it there was to sort of be in line with the counter. Yeah, I think I want it in line with the counter. And you know, I think this actually looks pretty cool. I really like this room. I think it's beautifully detailed. It's laid out nicely. We're losing tons of money still, but hopefully that turns around once we get some employees in here doing their thing. Now, I would also like to look at getting my hands on a cafeteria, which needs to be at least 4x3. We have space in here for that to happen. So I think that's maybe what we do, although we could probably squeeze it in here as well, because I think this is 3 across. We could just do a really long sort of cafeteria in here, which might be a bit weird, but it would be an option. It would force people into the botany space, because I'd probably put the door here instead of down this way. Although the door down this way might be better, because it gives easier access to people in the other museum. Alternatively, my other thought was that we do have, in fact, a whole bunch of space out here that we could build in. Like, we could build a giant mega gift shop up here and have it be amazing. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to do that, but it's something I'm very tempted to do. Although I'm also very tempted, like I said, to put maybe a little cafeteria in here to see if we can make some money from that. I don't know. I'm a little lost in what to do with this, because I really like the look of this building, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't super inefficient and it was, you know, all the outdoor spaces aren't being used anyway, so I might as well put something in there. And so honestly, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at this space up here for a cafeteria. We might just do 2 of them. Honestly, maybe we do, in fact, do a little tiny cafeteria down here, and then we'll do a proper sized cafeteria up at the top of this building. I don't know that we're going to need 2 of them necessarily, but we'll see what happens. We are going to need to take this guy out of here though, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is being replaced by something that is also going to give us food and drink. So I think that's completely fine. And then the entrance for this guy, I want to say it lives right there. I think this needs to go, but the entrance is going to be right here. That's kind of the perfect spot for it, which I think is great. We can do some windows right here, so you can look into the cafeteria from space, which I think is neat. And then the serving station, I want to say, is going to live right up this way. You're going to return your trays to a space just opposite the serving station, which I think is also great. This one needs to be right against the wall, which it doesn't seem to want to do, which is slightly frustrating. Can I move it back myself? Is that an option? And so just like that, we have a cafeteria that people seem really, really excited to use, which is fantastic news. I'm slightly worried that we might actually need a second counter in there, but I'm a little hopeful that they're just excited because there is now a cafeteria in the museum. If anything, this is making me think that we might actually want a second one of these, which I'm not against doing. Very much not against doing. I think this looks kind of cool. It's sort of spacey themed-ish. It's space adjacent is what we'll call this thing. It kind of has the same floor and some of the same blue that's going on with the rest of the space stuff. It's got some cheese in the back wall because food, basically. that's the only reason. We also have no one working in here, which is really unfortunate. I'm not 100% sure where the new assistant is that's supposed to be working in here, but apparently just not working in here, which is, yeah, a little bit of a pickle, but we'll manage that, I'm sure. I suppose I wonder now, do we go ahead and put a cafeteria over in this space? That is the real question. Or do we just get more exhibits? I'm kind of thinking we might just get more exhibits and see how that goes. We also have to check the mail, which is fair enough. No astral anomalies were active. That's to be expected. That's a crime report. That is a VIP visit, I guess. That's a crime report. That is a financial breakdown, which, to be fair, I'm on the brink of having a financial breakdown with just how much money we're losing. But we are level 28, which is exciting. So if we keep going, we will get that 3rd star that we're here for. So the museum might go broke. We really might go broke, but that's fine. As long as I get my 3rd star, that's fine. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to get some Robo janitors. So if we go and look at projects, we have the materials to make a Robo janitor, but we need the materials to make a Robo charger. We need some whirly-cogs. So let's start an expedition. Let's go out to the Bungle Burrows and get ourselves some whirly-cogs from this. We'll go for some bonus XP. We'll go detailed. We'll send them out. That'll be totally fine. And we can get ourselves some Robo janitors with their charging stations over here. I might build several charging stations. I might build several janitors. I want to say that's maybe a good idea so that we can hopefully have some good stuff come out of that. That's basically where I'm at. I'm also still noticing that there's still only one assistant working in here. I want to say Caleb was the other one that was supposed to work in here. We'll see if Caleb actually comes over here and does anything, because this place has a hell of a queue that we kind of want people to get through. Also looking in here, our gift shop sales have gone up a little bit. Our donations have come down, and that's what's really hurting us. We have, what, $2,000 sitting in there. We have $500 sitting in there. We had $2,000 sitting in there. I really think it's just like donation collections that are hurting us. I really, really do, which comes back to what I've said about not having enough security. Anyway, we have the whirly cogs, which is great. Let's start working on a Robo charger. And while we're doing that, man, you know what might be a really good idea? It might be a really good idea to get more helicopters. It would be 100,000 for another helipad, but being able to send out multiple expeditions would be great. I think at the very least, we're just going to send these guys back out for more whirly cogs, because we're going to need those and metal to, yeah, look at this. This is full as well. There's $1,600 just sitting in there. Now I should say, and I will say, I should and I will, that I have gone in and basically removed all of my security from their zone assignments. I mentioned this in the last episode. I talked about how basically security was, they were, you know, would zones help things? Some of them were already assigned to zones. I forgot that I'd done that. I've since taken them off, and it does seem to have sort of helped. Like, we are sort of turning a quarterly profit now. Apparently, we just get 27,000 from donations. So it seems like it's helping. It seems that maybe the gift shops, yeah, the gift shop sales are now 9,800, which is absolutely wild. So we might actually do this, which is great news. Let's get this thing opened. Let's get the whirly cogs again. And once the helicopter's back, I want to send somebody out right away to go ahead and start getting some metal, because that's the next thing that we're going to need. So we'll autofill this. We'll give you some bonus XP. We'll go detailed for more metal. And we need to assign someone to this. I don't know if we do. I think this was being worked on by the looks of it, but now they've just given up for the time being, which I suppose is fine. Oh, I think we've just done it. I think we've just managed, we absolutely have managed to achieve the profits needed to purchase this plot, which we don't need this plot right now, to be quite honest with you, but I want it, and that's why we have it. This whole thing, this whole thing was to get that plot. Now, what are you complaining about? You're very unhappy, which is fair enough. We should have a look at my staff. We should look at the pay reviews. They do want a lot more money, which is not good. It's very, very not good that they want more money, but we'll be all right. We will hopefully be okay. We're sort of making money. We're tentatively making money is what we're going to say here. Now, why is no one working in this row? I need someone to come over here and work on this robo charger. My question is, if I look at my science expert, we can't train you in anything right now, but I'm curious. So we don't necessarily need to train you in anything there either, which is fair enough. I just need them to come over and work on this. I need this to be done. I also kind of want to upgrade this thing just because I can, but I'd like this to be done because I want my robo janitors and I want those extra exhibits. I want to get up to level 28, 29, 30. I want that 3rd star. And you know what I also want? I also want to come in here, get rid of this door, and I'm going to build another gift shop in here. It's going to be about science. It's going to be about space. It's going to be amazing. So this goes away. We will why is that not hold on a minute. Get rid of that door. Okay. Confirm. Okay. Wait, what's on fire now? How is this on fire? Oh my God. You know what? This, I need this door to go away. There's no one out there, right? Like there's no one out there. So the door goes away. This gets built out to be a whole space, which is fine. I'll confirm that. There we go. And then what we'll do is, like I said, we're going to build a gift shop in here. So it's going to be this space. It is going to have its door. Do I want to put the door for it in here? I think I do. I think I want the door for this gift shop to be in the science-y wing of the, I almost said prison. I don't know where, I haven't played Prison Architect in so long. I don't know where that would have come from, but yeah, we're going to build it in the science-y wing of the prison. Let's do here. I think that's a good spot for it. I think that'll be totally fine. And I don't really want to dabble with windows on this. I would like to have 2 assistants working here though, because I think that's important and I think that's a good thing. So we'll just do 2 things right there. We can do some decorations behind them. It is about science. It is about space. I do like the idea of these cogs back here. I think that's pretty cool. I like the idea of these lights being back here. I think that's pretty cool as well. We could also swap these out for these lights, which might look a little bit better. And I think it does look a little bit better. So that's kind of what we're going to go for. And once again, there we go. We have ourselves a new gift shop that I'm hoping is going to be enough to make everybody happy. I'm also kind of hoping I want to get rid of this guy and just move this into sort of more the middle of the floor. I think that looks a little bit better. So we have our space section. We have our science-y section, which I think is absolutely fantastic. We are also making a profit, which is amazing news. So we might end up in a pretty good spot with everything. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, it's really unfortunate that that's exploded. I'm gonna have to sell it, which kind of sucks. I mean, we don't need, to be fair, we really don't need a Multromatic, but that's really unfortunate. So I have my janitors I do have janitors assigned to different zones. I'm just going to say that no janitor is being assigned to any zone. Just go where you're needed. Do what you got to do. It really doesn't matter. Just go wherever. It seems the zone thing doesn't really work the way I thought it would or the way I want it to. I really don't know what's going on with it. We'll not worry too much about it. I do want to get another assistant though. I don't want either of you. I need someone that I can either train or I need someone that's good with customer service. Either or, we'll go for you. Frederick Backthumper. It's fine. It's perfectly innocent. Let's put you to work in here pretty much right away. We will go and instantly train you in customer service, which is totally fine. And that should give us 2 people working in here in hopefully not too long at all. That's what we're looking for anyway. That should make people relatively happy though, because obviously we do have some science stuff out here. We have science in here. We have 2 spaces, I think, for them to get some space books in this case, which is totally fine by me. They can get the onesies, they can get the plushies, they can get the books, they can get whatever. I'm hoping for good things. That's what I'm hoping for here. I'm hoping for good things out of this. Like I said, it seemed like we were making money for a while there. Gift shop sales up to 12,000. Donations, 16,000 right now, which isn't great. But I'm also noticing that we have tour sales factored into this. And that's got me thinking, why don't we get another tour going? We have this space over here. We have this little area that I'm thinking I can put a tour guide's platform into. And then basically I want to send them out here. Now, unfortunately, this is a bit of a distance and they might not be thrilled about it. But my hope is that I can sort of bring them the whole way around here. Now, the length of this is bad, which is really, really unfortunate because that's a pretty good run. It takes them down, it brings them back. Do I want to have a bad length tour? You know what? I don't know that I care. If I take this out of here, does it bring the cohesion? Now the cohesion's going to be, if I take both of those out. Okay. You know what? How much do I care about the length of this tour? You know, I just don't think, I don't think it matters. I just want people to go and see these exhibits. A tour will boost the amount of donations that we get. We have a big donation bin right here that I think is going to be fine for it. So we'll confirm that and it'll be totally okay. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want out of this. We want a good tour out of this entire thing. This guy over here is finally being upgraded at the very least. Do I have anything in my inventory I should be worried about? We have the Robo charger. We also have this, the Jasmine album. I don't know if this is an exhibit exactly, but I'll put it there. I don't know what, it's Jasmine Odyssey's Mini Gold Records. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep it there. We'll get the Robo charger. And since we don't have the Multimatic anymore, we'll put the Robo charger, I want to say right here is probably the right spot for it. So it can live in that spot. It is decorated. It is full on buzz. We can't do anything with it in terms of perks, which is fine. So now we can head over and we can get ourselves a Robo janitor. That's what we're looking for. We'll get this guy to work and everything's hopefully going to be amazing. We're also very close to level 29 on the museum, which is great. So we're very, very close to that star that we're looking for. And I'm also realizing, should I build something I don't need another cafeteria. I mean, the queue on this one is kind of wild though, but I want to say we don't need another cafeteria. There are so many people walking around over here though. It feels like leaving money on the table. So I'm tempted, just for the sake of getting some symmetry in here. I'm very, very tempted. At the very least, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get some floor tiles. We're going to take this out. We're going to take this out. And I think we're going to take this door out of here as well. I just don't think we need it. Okay, it is time to get a Robo janitor. I don't think this guy counts as an exhibit, but just to be safe, I'm going to put him right there. And there he is. There is that Robo janitor. Now, what can you do? So you sweep sludge. That's a thing that you do. You don't fight fires, and I can't train you to fight fires, but I also don't have to pay you, which is kind of fantastic. I love him. I love him. I really, really do. He looks so good. He really does. He's just gonna go around, do what he's gotta do, restock things. That is very, very cool. I love that that's a thing you can do in this game, is just get the Robo janitor going. It's so good. It's so cool looking. And it's good for the science of the museum as well. Speaking of which, let's have a look. Do I want to get another one? I kind of want to get another one. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be against getting another Multramedic. I absolutely wouldn't be against doing that. The Judgment Clouder, probably not a bad idea either. This is... You know what? Yeah, let's start that project. We'll start working the Judgment Clouder. I'm also kind of thinking... Oh, for God's sake, that's on fire now. At least someone's dealt with it. I'm also kind of... Oh, two things are on fire. They're both being dealt with, which is fine. I'm also thinking that it might not be a terrible idea to look at this space and see what else we can put in there. Because this museum, obviously, with this building has, it's what, space, science, prehistory, and the paranormal. We could, if we wanted to, expand those into a new space. We could get like an actual dedicated space museum over here, which might not be a terrible idea because obviously we do have all the anomalies to deal with. We also have marine life that we could deal with. We could set up a sort of marine biology museum over in this area, which would be kind of cool to do as well. I'm just not 100% sure what to do yet. I haven't fully decided. And that's kind of where I'm at with this space. I just haven't quite fully decided what I want to do or how we're going to do it. And that's part of the fun, admittedly. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this museum just yet. I do, however, want to look at bringing a little path out this way because I like the idea that we're maybe not going to build right against this road. I think that's probably fair enough. And then somehow, some way, I need to make this whole thing, I just want it to be sort of presentable. So I want that to come up here. I would like to do something like this. I think that's kind of cool. I would like to do something like this. I think that's kind of cool. And then we'll fill in this part, which I think is okay. We're kind of mirroring what we have down here. And then how have they done? So they have like this at the border. Okay. So this goes here and here. It's very, this is a little tricky to put together, but we'll get there. Can I do this? Oh, that looks terrible. Ooh, I don't like that at all. No. Not a fan of whatever is going on there. Absolutely not a fan of whatever's going on there. Can I get rid of that? Yeah, that's much better. That is objectively, I think that's much better. Oh, no, that's still terrible. All right, so this is kind of my thinking for this little path space. I also extended this one at the back up here, and this is basically where we could build something that's a combination science and marine biology in museum. That's kind of my thinking. We also seem to keep having fires over here. Just about everything in this space seems to like catching fire, which is getting to be really, really frustrating. We do have this guy though, the good old Judgment Clouder. So I'm going to put it here. Bit of a weird spot for it. Can I get these guys to all be a bit closer together? Is that a little something I could do? Could I like rotate you and sort of shift you into that corner? I'm fairly sure I could, but I'd have to sort of move the decorations around a little bit, which I am not against doing. We don't necessarily want to block this thing in here. Maybe just sort of shift it over that way. We can rotate this one and sort of shift it over that way a little bit. This is complaining about something or other. Invalid item locations, not exactly ideal. It's still invalid. If I get rid of you and you and you, that fixes it. Okay, can I shove it into the corner? No, it's an invalid item location again. Okay. It's fine there though. Okay, we're gonna redo the decorations in this space is what we're gonna do, because I do kind of want the space. And I think this for a layout is completely fine. So let's go ahead and look at getting some lights into those corners again, because I think they look pretty cool back there. I do really enjoy my my lights. I'm kind of tempted to put one in the middle as well, just because we can. We have these little plants down here, of course, which I think can go here and right about here. And decoration, all of those is up to 5 again, which is great. Buzz is maxed out on all of them as well, so that seems perfect. So they should all be connected in some way or other to an info board, which is great. I'm slightly tempted to rearrange this space ever so slightly, though. It might not be a terrible idea to get these donation bins out from behind these fences, because that does seem a little inconvenient. I do like what I'm doing here. I do like what I was going for. I just think it's probably going to improve the general flow of the space if they're not stuck behind those bins. So that might just improve things a little bit. It also lets me move these guys to be a little bit closer. And honestly, what I might actually do is move the donation bins completely for a second. Move this right into that corner, because I think that makes a little bit more sense. Since it has the little fence next to it, that seems like a good thing. We can put the donation bin, I want to say here, or maybe we just put a big one in the middle. That might actually be a better idea, is just put the giant donation bin right in the middle of this floor. It's gonna block the flow of traffic a little bit, but I don't know how much I'm worried about that. I don't really think it matters all that much. So that's kind of the plan. We'll move these bins down next to the vending machines, because I think that makes sense as well. I would like to then put a little something there just to sort of enclose those, because I think it looks cool. I don't love the pillar, but that's something I will deal with. And then finally, I'm very tempted to just put a big info display in here. I don't know if we need it. I mean, we don't really need it, but I'm not against doing just a giant info display right here connected to all of those. We have these ones on the side as well, just to give people more options for where they can go to read about all these exhibits. I think that's kind of a cool thing to do. So this one apparently doesn't fit next to that, which is really unfortunate. So let's just put it there, and let's make sure that, I mean, they look fine. That looks all right. The last thing I'd like to do is just change out this floor a little bit. I'd like to bring this floor sort of down around that donation bin. The donation bin can maybe be moved to sort of the middle of that floor section, and that looks honestly fine by me. So we're getting very, very close to level 30 with this museum. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get another cafeteria in here. I think it's about time. We have this one over here and it's doing great, but the queue on it does get a little ridiculous sometimes. I don't love the idea of just having a mirror image for the entire thing, but I think that is ultimately what we're going to do here. So this camera is going to have to go. This is going to have to go. And we're going to have to edit the building just a little bit. So we'll put this down here. We're going to bring all of this up to here. And that door needs to go, which is fine by me. Obviously, everyone's kind of just running around here, which isn't exactly ideal, but that's totally fine. This is then going to just be turned into a cafeteria. Now, I'm slightly tempted to put the door for it on the side, but I just think the layout that we have down at the other end of things is just that little bit better. So unfortunately, the door for it is not going to be going on the side. We can, however, do this just to make my life a little easier. Put this guy right here, and it is basically going to be sort of a mirror image of what we did with the other one. It's not going to be perfectly mirrored, but relatively close, and that's kind of all I need it to be. These guys are complaining apparently about something or other. Can I get these just sit next to each other? Is it not gonna let me do that for some reason? Okay, they're fine now. They seem happy. All right, so that's what we're looking for. I suppose this one is gonna be more science themed than space themed. So let's see how I did all of this. These guys need to go, I want to say it's like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's, I'm trying to get it as in line as I can get it to be, which is, okay, you need to move down to there, which is fine. We move these guys to here and we move you to there. Is that what we've done? Is that how that works? They are one, two, I don't know how many like little notches apart. They're like 2 table widths apart is what we're looking for, which is, yeah, what those are. Okay, that's fine. And then on the other side, these guys go against that wall. And that is pretty much what we're looking for. So that's the basic functionality done. But we do want this to be both a combo. Well, do I want it is technically in a prehistory space. So maybe this is actually going to be a prehistory cafeteria instead of whatever else I was going to do. So that lets me put some torches above the tables, which I don't know about you, but that does not seem, that seems like a bit of a health and safety hazard, but you know what? I'm sure it's fine. I am sure there is nothing that's going to go wrong with having these torches above the tables. It'll be totally fine. I also kind of want to move these, the footprints a little bit so that they're more central between the tables rather than in line with the door. Cause I think that looks pretty cool. I think that looks all right. I think we can work with that. We've got some plants that can line this, this back wall. Again, going for that real prehistory kind of vibe right there. We have a wooden torch, which I don't really want to put in the floor. We have this amber, which can go, I want to say we're going to do 2 of these. We're going to do one here and one here. So that space is really nicely lit up. Do I have anywhere to put the giant dinosaur? Not really. I could put it here, but I think instead I'd rather just put a bin. Just because. I don't think it's going to get used that much, but I think it's important that we have it there just in case. And there we go. We have ourselves another cafeteria, and I think it looks pretty good. The last thing we need to do, just to finish this thing off, is of course go in here and make sure that the walls on this side match the rest of this area. But I like that. I also really like the little red tables. I think that was a nice little touch. It kind of has me tempted to come over here and change out these tables to be, I guess, like a white to go with a space theme, or like a blue. That blue is actually not bad. It's more of a sort of teal color, but I think that's kind of what we could go for on this. Is just something that's a little more in line with the rest of the room. I'm kind of here for it. I think it looks pretty decent. I also want to see, is there anything I can do to these guys? I'm assuming I can change the color of those guys, which I don't know that I'm willing to do. Same with these guys. I would assume I can change the color. Very curious to, oh no, it changes the housing of it. Never mind. We're going to keep it just sort of gray, I guess, is what we're going to go for there. We'll make this thing just a little more in line with the tables as well. And we'll do the same with these guys. Just make them sort of the same color as everything else that we have going on, just to sort of bring it all together and make the room feel a little bit more, I don't know, like it belongs. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that belongs. Now, the assistant that works in this cafeteria is off being trained in customer service, so they will eventually make their way back to that cafeteria and everything should be good. But I will say, we are making money again. We're doing pretty well on that front. We have some relatively happy museum guests. The museum rating is 74%. That could be better, but we'll get there, is what we'll do. There we go. We've got someone going into that cafeteria now. That is what we're looking for. That should deal with a lot of the issues that the guests have. So you can come over here, go to this cafeteria, get some food, get something to drink. Same with this one. It's going to take hopefully all of these science-loving guests and help them out a little bit as well. So here's hoping this puts us in a really good spot. Here's hoping this makes us a ton of money. The only thing I'm thinking I'd like to do before we wrap things up is get another set of tours in here. I really want to get someone taking us on a tour. Well, I don't actually know. I kind of want a tour that goes at the very least past or through the science part of the museum. I think that might be a really good idea, because then we can boost the money that we get from these guys. That might be kind of cool. We also have 3 pretty solid exhibits down here that we could run a tour past and do something with. We could include this guy, the slab, in that as well. So I think that's kind of gonna be what I want to do here just before we wrap things up. So basically right next to this door, or as close to this door as I can reasonably get, we are gonna put a little tour thing, which admittedly is going to push into the, I don't want it to be in the middle of the floor. Hold on. I have an idea. I don't know if I'm going to love this idea, but I have an idea. We're going to extend the building a little bit right there and a little bit right there if it's going to let me, which I don't think it is. So we'll confirm that. We'll get rid of the invalid items. That's fine. And then up this way, we're going to do exactly the same thing, extending the building just a little bit. We are going to need to go through and obviously do some decorating here to make this all sort of come together. So this gets swapped out. This gets swapped out. We want to grab this and sort out those sections of wall right there. And that is where I can put my tour guides. It's obviously, it's not pretty by any means, but it'll do the job. And then you can go to all of these exhibits. It is perfect, 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 and epic, which is fantastic. So we will absolutely confirm that tour. And then down this way, we are going to get another one. This one's going to be less perfect, to be fair. This one's definitely not going to be as cohesive or short, but that's fine. It's going to go all the way down there. It is great on length. It is bad on length. You know what? Wait, why are they going outside? Why would they go outside for that tour? Hold on. Can I take the lone henge out of there? It is perfect. Great. Great.
Security guard.
I don't want them to go outside. So I think, unfortunately, this is going to be the extent of that tour. We'll confirm it, and that's fine. I'm not going to fight it too much. It's going to be okay. I think that'll work. At the very least, like I said, we have a tour guide going through the science stuff, so that should be some bonus money from down there. We have a tour guide going through here, which should be some bonus money in here. And hopefully that's enough. Hopefully that's going to get us into a good place. I do think we're going to need to keep just expanding the facilities at the museum. I do think we're going to probably want to get some marine biology stuff in here, just because, I mean, we're level 29. We're very low level 29. We need to just bring the buzz up a little bit, which we can do. We're very close. We're very, very close to being done here. I would just like to, I don't know, just a little something, something. Just a little something, something to bring this all together, get more money, get more buzz, all that good stuff. I'm sure we can do it. You know what I realized we never did? And I was going to just wrap up this episode right there, but I realize we've yet to go out this way to get these man-eating plants. So I want to set up this expedition and I want to send them out with plant camouflage so we don't lose anybody. And all things considered, this should put us in a pretty good spot is what I'm thinking. This should be good. Now I'm going to send you because you're going to speed things up a little bit. And as far as my janitors go, you're probably fine. You just get aerodynamics. I don't want to lose one of my security guys. So what are my options for sending security? I guess we'll send you since you're a bit of a higher level and that'll be okay. I want to go detailed with this. I want the bonus survey level. 76 days is a pretty long time, but at the very least, no one's getting injured, no one's getting sick, no one's going missing. So we should get a man-eating plant out of this, which will be a new botany exhibit, which is hopefully going to give us a little bit more buzz. It'll hopefully fit in this space. And that's hopefully going to be enough just to push us towards level 30. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We are very, very close to doing that. I have gone around and told a bunch of my staff to get trained up because apparently training your staff and giving them different skills is going to help us a little bit. So hopefully that is a thing that we can do. This thing needs clean, man. We are slacking a little bit on the quality of our exhibits. Oh, there it is. Let's take a look at what we have in this crate. We got some level. Well, we didn't get some levels, but we got some XP, which is fantastic news. What are we looking at in the crate today? It is a chomper pit. It's also epic, which is kind of fantastic. I'm assuming, so it wants a hot climate, which should be fine. It wants humidity. It has squits and giggles. I don't like that. That's a way to phrase it. Ooh, that thing is huge. Oh my God, it's huge. That is a massive exhibit. Oh my God. We don't really have room for this thing unless I get rid of the bathrooms in the botany space. That is, well, that's something. Maybe this should move. Maybe the analysis room, because we are going to build. We are 100% going to end up building a space for like science and all that good stuff. So maybe I think that analysis room is going to go. And I think I kind of have an idea for what I'm going to do here. I'm putting together a little idea. So this analysis room, we are going to sell this room, which is fine. We're going to get rid of all of this as well. That humidifier might need to come back. But then what I'm going to do is edit the building, and we're going to extend things like this, which should be totally fine. I need to change out this floor a little bit. So all of this is going to need to be grass as well. And then this guy is going to need some decorations around it before I go too much further. So let's very quickly move you back and make sure you've got a vine column nearby, as well as some information stand things nearby. We just want to make sure that this thing isn't suffering because of what I'm about to do in that other space. Okay, so all of this has been sorted out. This guy is nice and happy again. What I would like to do is come in here and put the chomper pit into this space. This thing is wild looking. It is absolutely enormous. It is possibly the biggest exhibit that we've ever dealt with. It needs a hot and humid climate, which we can do. We can make that a thing. It is, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we have a heater thing right here. If I put another one over on that side, this thing is now warm enough. I think it might be, let's see, hot climate, good. All right, so humid climate is what we need next. So we have some dehumidifiers. That's not what we're looking for. We want some small misters. Can I get away with these guys? Just maybe a couple in those corners should be fine, which it absolutely is. This has so much buzz, and we're level 30. I just want to point that out. We are now level 30, which is very exciting, which means the museum level, if it goes up 1%, we're going to be good here today. This guy wants to be near a garden sign decoration. I can 100% make that happen. We have a little garden sign right here. Let's just put it, I want to say right there is kind of where it's going to go. In fact, no, that's a terrible spot for a little garden sign. Let's put the little garden sign just down here. Just sort of out of the way, but it's still giving that thing its buzz bonus, which I want. And then we want to just decorate it a little bit more as well. So let's see what we can do around this guy. I do like the idea of getting some pillars in here. I think they look pretty cool. So right about there for a pillar, and maybe rotate around and go right about there for a pillar. That gives us 5 of 5 that we're looking for. I would assume this is the platform that guests are going to jump up on to look at this thing. So very quickly before we let things go, I need to find a way. Should I put some gravel underneath the entire thing? Does that look, that doesn't look very good, does it? That looks a little, it just looks a little meh, I think. I don't know that I love that. I'm not 100% sure about this. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't think I want the gravel. I do not think I want the gravel. I do kind of want a path that leads up to this thing though. Or I could just do, oh boy, do I want to do that? No, that looks ridiculous. That's too much. And there we go. We have this thing, and we did it. We're a 3-star museum. We got the cave floor. We got the prehistory partitions, the ice panels, cave blue. Amazing. I'm so happy with this.
Now, excellent. As the 2 Point Museum is receiving rare rave reviews, with new leadership providing more stability and less running away. Asked for comment by 2 Point Radio, a recent guest had this to say: "It's great. There's all sorts of stuff. It looks pretty much like a museum." I'm sure they'll be using that particular quote in promotional materials soon, if they're not already.
You've been promoted to Curator Class 4. The Department of Culture has rewarded the following items: wall dehumidifiers, wall misters. Those are huge. We can also get up to 4 stars at a museum now, which is kind of a big deal. The wall misters and the wall temperature controls in general, kind of huge. Very, very excited. Very excited about that one. The county wants its flagship museum to be a monument to enlightenment, sure to amuse any and everyone. Variety is the spice of life and worth the price of admission. Prove you can make a success of a large, diverse museum to receive a 4-star rating. This test will scrutinize the breadth of your collection and the depth of your knowledge. So we need exhibits from 12 subcategories.
Welcome
We need more buzz. We need guests with more knowledge and a bit of a chunky quarterly profit. I'm relatively sure we can do that. We're not going to be going for it right now, obviously, but I'm very, very happy with where we've got to with this particular museum. And that's without the fact that like we have this space that we can purchase now. We can go out here. We can go out here. We can't go up here, but we have so much more space that we can play with now, and we haven't even touched this one. So what I'm wondering is just how crazy we can go. I mean, we're gonna go nuts with space, right? But I'm thinking we might change plans a little bit and have this just be a dedicated space museum, and then maybe the marine biology stuff can go up here. That seems like it would be really cool to do. I'm so pleased with this. I am so pleased with this. I also kind of want to see what this thing does to my guests. So yeah, this guy just chilling out here. Oh, that's a tentacle. That's okay. Does it just eat the gas? Does it spit them back out? It does. Okay. He's thrilled about it as well. Okay. Well, at least they get out. That's all we can ask for. At least they survive. They seem happy about it. Now for Curator Class 6, we need 3 more stars across my museums. That should be easy enough to do. But here's my question. Which museum do we go back to next for that particular Curator class? Or do we just stay here for a bit? Do we build the Space Museum? Do we build the Marine Biology Museum? Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking in that particular regard, and we'll see what happens. Either way, that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.